Hi guys, hello, welcome to today's video. I am literally so excited because not only do we have new bookshelves, essentially this is basically my entire TBR, and I did put them in order from oldest to newest. So all the oldest ones, like the ones that I've had the most, are up here, and my newest ones, most recent purchases, are in that far corner at the bottom there. But also, you guys helped me a lot with this video, so again, very, very excited. Today we are going to be doing a bookshelf scavenger hunt. I've done this once in the past, and I just kind of did prompts that I saw somebody else do, but more recently, actually, I saw Bo's Books do one where she was actually inspired by another creator who I can't remember the name of, but I'll put both of them in the description. But they got prompts from their subscribers, and I thought that would be such a fun thing to do. I love any kind of way that I can get you guys involved more, get your guys' opinion, have you pick things. Like, that's my favorite thing ever. So that's what we're doing today. Also, by the way, if you've never seen a bookshelf scavenger hunt, basically the way it's going to work, I'm going to use a prompt to pick a book off of my shelves, kind of as our starting point. And then after that, I'm going to be pulling other prompts to jump from book to book within my bookshelves until we finally pick the last prompt that'll lead us to the book that we're actually going to read. And we are going to be reading that book together in this video as well. On the community tab, I did ask you guys to give me some prompts to kind of like lead me from book to book. And again, I appreciate everyone so much for leaving a prompt, and I will be using all of the prompts in some sort of way, but some of them were more kind of like general, like regular kind of TBR type of prompts versus prompts that I need specifically for the scavenger hunt. And some of them I definitely was able to kind of just like tweak the prompt a little bit to make it fit. Some of them I was not able to do that. So I'm just gonna actually put those ones into my regular TBR jar. And if I end up picking that prompt during one of those TBR jar videos, I'll definitely give you a shout out, because again, I appreciate so much everyone for leaving a prompt. So anyway, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get started. And I do actually have two separate prompts that I felt like would have been like perfect for our starting points. And the one that I'm going to be using today is the one that I actually received first. And then the other one I'm going to save this one for the next version of this video that I do, because I definitely want to do this again. I've actually seen somebody that does it kind of like on a regular basis, and I think that would be really fun. So this one we're going to save. And as for now, the first prompt that we have is going to be bookshelf coordinates, and they gave me 2, 3, and 24. So basically I need to go to the second row, the third shelf, and then the 24th book on that shelf. So I'm going to count each of these as kind of like a row. So obviously this is going to be our second shelf, and then we need to go 1, 2, 3 down, and then I need to count 24 into this shelf. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, well, that's gonna be 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So we have The Husbands is our jumping off point book. This is a book that I got from Book of the Month a while back. I want to say probably maybe a year, 2 years ago, quite a while ago. Oh, it actually has the date on the back, April of 2024. So 2 years ago I got this book, and it does actually sound really interesting. This one is about a woman who like comes home and is greeted by her husband, but it says there's only one problem. She's not married. She's never seen this man before in her life, but according to her friends, her much improved decor and the photos on her phone, they've been together for years. As Lauren tries to puzzle out how she could be married to someone she can't remember meeting, Michael goes to the attic to change a light bulb and abruptly disappears. In his place, a new man emerges, and a new, slightly altered life reforms around her. Realizing that her attic is creating an infinite supply of husbands, Lauren confronts the question, if swapping lives is as easy as changing a light bulb, how do you know you've taken the right path? That sounds so freaking good, but unfortunately we will not be reading this book in this video. This is just, again, our kind of like jumping off point. So let's go ahead and pull a prompt to see where The Husbands is going to lead us. And we'll go ahead and do this one. I don't know how many I'm going to pick. I'm not going to pull all of these because I did actually get quite a bit, which again, thank you guys so much. I'll maybe do like half of them or so, and then whatever ones I don't use this time, we'll definitely keep in this jar and we'll use it next time. But let's see what our first one says. Go to page 142 and read a book whose title begins with the same letter as the 5th word on the page. I love ones like these. It makes me feel very like treasure hunty. So I need to go to page, what was it? 142. 142. Here we go. Read a book whose title begins with the same letter as the 5th word on the page. Let's look at the page together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our 5th word is gives. A book whose title begins with the same letter as the 5th word on the page. So the word is gives, but our letter is G. That makes things so much easier. I was like trying to think of like titles that had the word gives in it, and I'm like, I don't think I have any. But G, that's so much easier. Okay, too bad I did not do this in alphabetical order. That would have made this so much easier. Oh, Actually, our very first book, our oldest book on our TBR, is The Gathering Dark. So maybe we should just do this one. I mean, it starts with the technically, but like whenever I see the at the start of a title, I kind of ignore it. So let's put this one back. And we'll go with The Gathering Dark. So I got this kind of like in the beginning-ish stages of kind of like getting back into reading before I realized I don't really like short story books. And I didn't know any of the authors on the back of this book at the time, but now there's like at least a couple, Chloe Gong being one of them, and then Allison Saft, that I have books from as well. So I think that's so cool. It's a fun like marker of like how far I've come in my reading journey, to where like none of these names meant anything to me in the beginning. Now I'm like, oh, I know that person. Oh, I've read a book from that person before. And I have actually gotten like halfway through this book. I've read some of it. I think I've read 2 of the short stories. Oh, actually the one that I have next is the Allison Saft one, which I have a couple of her books. I haven't read any of her books yet, but the cover art for her books are always so pretty, so I'm always attracted to them, hence the reason I have some and I haven't read them yet. I have read the Chloe Gong one. I honestly at this point can't remember what it was about. The main one that I remember is Stay, the first one, and I remember it being like so like way more gross and creepy than I thought it was going to be, because this was in the YA section, and I remember reading that first short story and being like, that's a little intense for a YA. Other than that, I don't really remember these. So I actually think, you know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna start this over from after the first one. So whenever I do pick this up again, that's gonna be where we're gonna start, because I couldn't tell you at all what those other ones were about. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on. I feel like I need to stop talking so much in between each prompt, otherwise this video is gonna be 1,000 years long. But also at the same time, let me know if you like that. Maybe I'll just start doing longer videos. I am a little bit of an announcement, I guess. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did take a little bit of a break. I think it ended up being like 2.5 to 3 week break. I got a little burnt out just because I started my snail mail club and it ended up being a lot more work than I was originally anticipating. I love every moment of it, but like it was just a lot more to juggle this YouTube channel and that at the same time. And I ended up not scheduling myself very well for the second month, like in between the first and second month of the snail mail club. So yeah, I had to take a little bit of a break to kind of like focus on that, and also just kind of, again, I was feeling kind of burnt out. Like even during the entire month of June, I barely read anything. That being said, to kind of avoid burnout in the future, I think as of right now, I'm just gonna focus on doing 1 video a week. So let me know if you would prefer kind of like longer videos. Like what do you want that 1 video a week to be? I think I want to kind of gear more towards having more reading vlogs than not, but I'm not really, I don't know. We're kind of like figuring things out. I feel like I need to kind of like switch things up a little bit, and I'm not really sure what direction I should go in necessarily, so I would love your input. Anyway, let's get back to this video and let's pick our prompt to see where we're gonna go from The Gathering Dark. Let's pick this one. This one says, turn to page 52. So we have another page 1. Almost half, like 40% of these are these types of prompts. So we're probably gonna get these quite a bit, which again, I don't mind, I love them. Turn to page 52 and pick a book with one of the words on that page in the title. So we have a full page of words we can choose from, which is good, because even with having the amount of books that I have in my TBR, I feel like whenever I do these types of things and I have to pick a specific word, it's always words that I like don't ever have. So we need to go to page 52, which is right here. We are on page 52, and let's see. This is actually kind of a lot of words to choose from. I'm just gonna like read the entire page really quickly and then see if as I'm like reading the page, a word like sticks out to me. I'm hoping I can just kind of remember what books I have. But as we all know, my memory's terrible, so. Ooh, okay, we have the word murder, and I know I have that in a book. Yes. This one is Murder Your Employer. Also reading this like first paragraph of this little short story, I'm intrigued, which is actually kind of funny because like where my bookmark was in the book, I apparently have already read that one, but that was ringing 0 bells. And since this is like the oldest book on my TBR, I think instead of actually adding it back to the shelves, I think I'm gonna set this aside and maybe we'll read that as well. Moving on to our next book, which is Murder Your Employer by Rupert Holmes. And I thought this was a standalone, but it does say volume 1. So I'm wondering if this is gonna be part of a series, maybe like an interconnected one. But basically this is about some, I think it's like 4 people that go to this university where you learn how to murder people or something like that. It sounds very intriguing. The Master's Conservatory for the Applied Arts, a luxurious clandestine college dedicated to the fine art of murder. But again, we're not reading this one today. Let's see what prompt is going to lead us from this book to the next. Let's do this one. Ooh, we've got a little skinny one. This one says, oh, okay, a book that has the same color title. This one is one that I tweaked a little bit. I don't remember exactly what the original prompt was, but I changed it to basically I need to find another book with the same color title as this, which this one is in gold. And when I tweaked this one, I was thinking it was probably gonna be either white or black because the majority of the books in my other room when I was putting these together are white and black. So I figured that'd be pretty easy to do. But of course I grabbed like the one gold titled book. So this one was here. So this one actually right next to it is gold adjacent. I think it's supposed to kind of look gold, but it's more yellow. But let's kind of like see what else we have. This might actually not be as difficult as I thought it was going to be originally because this one also like 3 books away from the original one is again not gold, but I think it's meant to look gold. But this one right next to it actually does have full-on gold. These are actually so easy to find. I was kind of thinking I was gonna have to be like all over my bookshelves, and we've literally stayed like right here this entire time. Maybe with the next prompt I'll like force myself to go over to the next shelf, but also at the same time I would prefer to get a book that's been on my shelves longer, and that set of shelves are my newer ones. So maybe I will just like stick to this one shelf for this video. We'll do that. Okay, anyway, but the next book that we have is House of Roots and Ruin by Aaron A. Craig. This one is the second book after the one I just showed you, which is House of Salt and Sorrow. So we're definitely not going to be reading this one. I think we're going to pick one more. Actually, how many prompts do we have in here? We've already pulled 4. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 total. If I cut that in half, we'll do like 6. We'll do 6. So we'll do two more prompts. Okay. Let's do this prompt. This one says, flip to the halfway point of the book in your hands, the book in my hands. Read the first sentence on that page and find a book that contains a word from that sentence in the title. So basically I need to flip to the middle of the book, which we're just gonna kind of eyeball it. That's about half. Read the first sentence on that page and find a book that contains a word from that sentence in the title. So I need to read the first sentence on this page, and we're gonna use this one because this one has literally 2 words as the sentence. So we're gonna read this sentence and then we need to pick one of those words. And the start of this page is actually in the middle of a sentence, so I'm actually gonna include the beginning part on the previous page, if that makes sense as well. So it says, as a daughter of a duke, sister to a duchess, you understand that ... families like ours have specific duties, obligations ... I assume you were given lessons as a girl. Okay, so girl stands out to me. I'm pretty sure I have a book that has the word girl in it. Sister maybe, daughter maybe. Let's see. We're gonna look for girl though, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, we have this one. This one is The Girls I've Been, and this one I got very much on a whim from Barnes & Noble. It was one of their like $5 feature books, like in their little cafe. And I remember this being like when I first kind of got back into reading, I remember this being a book that like drew my attention because of the cover. That being said, once I brought it home and I started reading it, I was kind of like, it definitely does sound like it could be good. It's just not something that I like typically reach for. Basically, it's about a girl who was the daughter of a con artist. And it says, for 5 years, Nora's been playing it normal, but she needs to dust off the skills she ditched because she has 3 problems. 1, her ex walked in on her with her girlfriend. 2, the morning after Wes finds the girls kissing, they all have to meet to deposit the money from a fundraiser at the bank. It's a nightmare that goes from awkward to deadly because 3, right after they enter the bank, 2 guys start robbing it. The robbers may be trouble, but Nora's something else entirely. They have no idea who they're really holding hostage. So it does sound fun. It's just, I don't know, the whole like bank robbery thing and like con artist thing, it's just like not something I care to read about. I usually end up liking those things when I do finally watch them or read them, but it's never something I gravitate toward, if that makes any sense. That being said, luckily this is actually not our last book. We need to pick one more prompt, and that prompt will lead us from this book to the book that we will be actually reading together. I am so nervous. I've been having a lot of fun because the pressure has been kind of like off because I haven't had to like I'm going into it knowing I'm not gonna have to read it necessarily if I pick one that like ends up being not something I really care to read, but this one's it. We're reading whatever we pick next, and that makes me so nervous. Okay, let's do this one. Take the number of pages in the current book, which I've just dropped. Take the number of pages in the current book, which is, let's see how many we have, 356. Divide it by 10 and pick the book that many books away on your shelf from the current one. That is so fun, but I do feel like that is gonna lead me into this territory, our second bookshelf, which we were trying to avoid. So that is basically 35.6, so we're just gonna go with 35 or 37. I'll give myself a little bit of an option. 35, 37, 35 or 36. So where was this on the shelf? This was here. Okay, we actually might be able to stay in this shelf. I think we're gonna just either get at the very bottom of the shelf or just hit the very top of that one, which I gotta say, I do have some books at the top here in this shelf particularly that I am really excited for. So I actually do kind of hope it hits this shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Definitely not getting to that shelf. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Oh no! Okay, so here you didn't probably see any of that, but basically this is 35 and this is 36. Going into this video, I was not thinking I would be reading a chunker like this. I was just thinking we could do a fun little activity together. I could read a book really quick and call it a day. This is not reading a book really quick. But also, number 35 is the second book in a series. But also, this is a book, the first book in the series, that I actually got from one of you guys, Bestie Julia, and she did give this to me quite some time ago, so maybe I'm thinking we need to finally read this. And also too, I am a binger, so if I do end up loving this, I do have the second book that I can just read right after the fact. And the book that we are officially going to be reading today together is The Luminaries. And let me go ahead and read the back of the book really quickly. So this says, Winnie Wednesday wants nothing more than to join the Luminaries, the ancient order that protects Winnie's town and the rest of humanity from the monsters and nightmares that rise in the forest of Hemlock Falls every night. I love the fact that our main character's name is Winnie Wednesday. That just rolls off the tongue so nicely. It's so fun. Ever since her father was exposed as a witch and a traitor, Winnie and her family have been shunned. But on her 16th birthday, she can take the deadly luminary hunter trials and prove herself true and loyal and restore her family's good name, or die trying. I love that she's gonna go through a deadly hunter trial at the ripe old age of 16. In order to survive, Winnie enlists the help of one person who can train her, Jay Friday. Wednesday and Friday. I see what they did there. Resident bad boy and Winnie's ex-best friend. While Jay might be the most promising new hunter in Hemlock Falls, he also seems to know more about the nightmares of the forest than he should. Together, he and Winnie will discover a danger lurking in the forest no one in Hemlock Falls is prepared for. Not all monsters can be slain, and not all nightmares are confined to the dark. I literally don't think I've ever met a book that had a trial in it that I didn't like, so I'm sure I'm gonna love this. And let's get started. Actually, I'm gonna get some lemonade, and then we're gonna get started. I made some homemade lemonade the other day, and it is my new obsession. Actually, more specifically, I went to Chick-fil-A and got their homemade lemonade. And when I tell you that is the best lemonade I have ever had in my entire life, and mind you, I got the like low sugar or the low calorie one. It's so good. And I looked at the ingredients and it's literally lemon juice, water, and Splenda. So I went to the grocery store, bought a bag of lemons and some Splenda, made it at home. It doesn't taste as good as the Chick-fil-A one, but it's like very, very close. It's so good. My new obsession. I've been drinking it every day. I can't have a lot of it because I do have a lot of like stomach acid issues, but I've been having like a small glass every day. Ugh, it's so good. So good. So I'm gonna have a glass of that because I've been wanting it all morning, but I wanted to get this filmed first, and then we're gonna start reading our book. Here she is. Literally, this is like my new pride and joy. Also, there's a street sweeper outside, so hopefully you can't hear it. I put a little less than a cup of lemon juice because I accidentally spilled some. And then 3/4 of a cup of Splenda, and then I think it was supposed to be 8 cups of water, but that didn't quite fit in here, so I either did 6 or 7. I don't remember exactly. I wanna say 7. I wanna say 7. Oh, I almost forgot ice. Here's our little glass. Oh, actually, we're not gonna use this one. This is typically my favorite glass to drink things out of, but I did just thrift these little yellow cups, and how cute would it be to drink my lemonade, my yellow drink, out of a yellow cup? So that's what we're gonna do. I'm so excited. I'm too excited for this. This is so stupid. Okay, I feel like it's a little bit more than I typically drink per day, so I'm definitely gonna have to probably take some Tums. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna have to eat something first, actually, because I brushed my teeth right before I started filming. The taste is still there. I'm not even hungry. And we are like trying to be healthy right now. So we have like no snacks in the house. What am I gonna do, you guys? Let's look in my cabinet, try to find a snack. I literally have no, like I would love some popcorn or something right now. We have none. Oh, I could do a protein bar actually. I just need something to like take the toothpaste taste out of my mouth. What did you eat? Second I sit down in any kind of chair or on the bed, she has to be on my lap. I apologize for the very shit lighting in here. This room is the darkest room in the world during the summer because we have like a giant maple tree in the backyard and it completely covers any possibility for sun to come into this room in particular. So let me try to bump this up a little bit. I've got the lighting up so bright on my camera. I hope it doesn't. I do also have my window open so you can hear that bird. But it's very annoying because like one of the main reasons I wanted to move into this room with like my book wall and stuff like that is to film in here because I thought it got the most light in the house, but that's during the winter when the tree in the backyard is naked. Now that it's like fully leafed out, darkness. It's midnight in here at all times. It's starting off with this page that's called The Nightmare, and it's like a little excerpt about a character, and it's talking about a boy, so I'm wondering if it's Jay Friday, the ex-best friend. I have just sat down to eat some lunch and continue reading. I did take a quick break because I got some Glossier perfume samples in the mail. I've been wanting to try their perfume for the longest time, so I bought their little like sample kit thing a few days ago and it just got in today. So I made like a little short form like TikTok video for it. I do have different, it's kind of funny because like I filmed the video and I did like obviously my like first initial thoughts on the scents, but now that they've all been kind of like sitting on my skin for like half an hour to an hour, I have completely different thoughts. I'm still kind of undecided on which one I want to get, but like if you have not tried Glossier perfumes, I highly recommend, and you're like looking for a scent, highly recommend, along with Frankly, which I do have a code for. Their scents are really inexpensive and they smell really, really good. That's another brand that like almost every single scent I'm like, how do I like all of these? Not all of them are ones that I would personally want to wear, but like even just using it as like a room spray or something, like I like the scents a lot. And then Dead Cool Mochi Milk is pretty much what I wear all the time. And then I've also gotten some scents from Future Wise that I really, really like as well. I went from like a few months ago having 0 perfumes to now having several. And I'm very excited about it. But anyway, now I have my lunch that I'm gonna eat. I made myself like a little mini charcuterie board because I don't know, I didn't feel like cooking like a whole thing. So I have a little cup of cherries, and then I also have some sourdough bread that we got at a farmer's market with some like smoked Gouda, and then also a bison and pork like andouille sausage that we also got from the farmer's market. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the luminaries because that's really what you're here for, not for what I'm eating for lunch and my perfume selections. Like I said, I'm on page 82 and we're about to start chapter 14. And so far we've basically just gotten a background on Winnie and kind of like her relationship with people and the whole like background of like her family being shunned and things like that and kind of like what that entails. It's not like a forever shun. They're being shunned for like 10 years or something, and we're currently 4 years into that. And also as far as like their last names, like the Wednesday and then the J Friday, her ex-best friend, the days of the week actually signify like what clan you're a part of. It's basically like families, but like 2 people can be Wednesdays without being blood related. It's more of like each clan has a specific like motto, or like kind of like the Harry Potter houses. Like there's one group that's a little bit smarter, other ones that are kind of more like her clan is all about like loyalty, which is why her family got shunned. I mean, they would have been shunned regardless, but because they're Wednesdays and their literal motto is all about loyalty, it was like extra offensive that he was a witch, which is like their enemies. There is a couple of things I don't like about this, or like that are kind of bothering me. She does very much say that like everyone makes fun of her and she's like has no friends, literally no one talks to her, but then almost immediately we're greeted by a set of twins that are friendly with her, and then right after that there's like an adult that she's friendly with, and then right after that we meet another classmate that like kind of stands up for her. So like she's not completely alone. I do understand though that like the majority of people don't like her or whatever, which by the way, the fact that they're shunned for 10 years, I feel like that's so awkward to like be shunned for a certain amount of time and everyone's like, stay away, I hate you, and then what, after 10 years they're just gonna be like, oh hey, welcome back friend. That's so awkward. I don't really love that plot line. Like, I feel like if the family was going to be shunned, they should have just been like fully shunned, because otherwise it just doesn't make sense to me. The synopsis did mention Jay Friday, who is her ex-best friend. He has definitely entered the chat. He's in the book a little bit. We've met him and we've gotten a couple interactions with him. And based off of something that happened during her first trial, because where I'm at currently, she literally like just ended the trial, I do have a theory about him. And I feel like it's very, very obvious. So I'm kind of hoping I'm wrong. Sometimes when things are like that blatantly obvious, it kind of is, it ruins the story a little bit, because you're like, well, duh, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping I'm a little bit wrong, but also I love to be right. So we'll see how that goes. And then also, again, I just finished the trial, and the way that the trial went, I don't love the outcome of it. Not because it's like a bad story plot necessarily, but it's like, for me specifically, this type of situation that happened always makes me like, ugh. It just makes me so, not on the edge of my seat, because that makes me feel like, oh, I'm excited. I'm not excited about it. I'm more of just like, it's waiting for the other shoe to drop kind of a feel. And also, I want her to be a certain way, I'm realizing, and so far she hasn't been that way. I'm being very vague, obviously, because I don't want to spoil anything, but like, the whole situation so far, I'm like, ugh, I wish it had have gone a different way than it did. But we're through the first trial, so I am excited to kind of see what happens next. Winnie is spiraling a little bit, and I don't love it. I don't like when characters like have a very quick change in personality. I mean, it's been like a hot second, so it's not like it's a for real one, but like, get your head in the game, continue on, you know? They start training at the age of 5. I thought doing the hunter trials at 16 was crazy. Starting to train for them at 5? I feel like you can barely function at 5. I also can't remember last time I was around a 5-year-old, so what do I know? Hello guys, it is the next day and I'm currently on chapter 25. You cannot see that at all because I've had to like bump up the lighting on my camera so much because it's very, very gloomy today, which is honestly perfect for a day of like reading, finishing this book. I do have about 130-ish pages left, but before we actually like finish this, I do want to update you guys on my thoughts. I don't really have, I feel like, that many. Where I'm at in the book right now, she is about to start her second trial. Also, pretty much everything from like the last time that I talked to you guys or like updated you to now has been kind of the aftermath of the first trial, and everyone in this book is annoying me so much. Not because like I don't like the book or I'm not liking the story. I mean, I said it yesterday like about how I didn't like how that first trial went because of like the aftermath and like because of like what I knew could happen afterward. And it's not doing that necessarily, it's actually doing kind of the opposite, but it's like equally annoying. My reaction that I thought I was gonna have is kind of just like more nervous, and I still do have that, but now again, because of like what happened, I have this intermingled annoyance with just like everyone, which actually kind of like leads me into my next thought, which is I do feel like I've thought several times while reading this that it does feel very YA. Our main character is 16, so that makes sense. The things that our character does is just very young, and it's driving me a little nuts because I'm just like, this could be so easily, maybe not fixed, but like I'm just like hyper aware of how young our characters are, I guess, if that makes sense. And I don't know if I love that necessarily, to be honest. And then my last note is actually something I'm very kind of intrigued by and kind of excited to kind of keep reading to see how it goes. But Jay Friday said something very specific about what happened with the first trial, and it kind of reaffirmed my suspicions about him in general. But also now I feel like there might be more even to that whole thing than what I originally thought. So I'm very, very intrigued. on chapter 31, and one of my biggest pet peeves just happened. I'm not saying any kind of like big plot point necessarily, but there is like a little bit of something. So if you don't want to hear it, skip forward a little bit. Basically, there's these like birthday cards that our main character has gotten from her dad, but her mom has never actually given them to her, and she's never questioned it because she's also very angry with her dad for like, you know, turning on everybody, basically being a witch or whatever. And like I said yesterday, he's been gone for 4 years at this point, so he sent 4 birthday cards and she just stumbled across them in the attic, and one of them has a like coded message in it that only her and her dad would understand. And instead of immediately going to like figure out what he was trying to tell her, she just left and was like, I'll deal with that another day, basically. That is like the most unrealistic thing in the world to me, because I would have to know. I would have to immediately follow the clues. You know what I mean? There's just in no world where I would like find something like that, like a lost letter or something with some kind of like message in it, even if it wasn't to me. If I just saw some mysterious letter, I'm following the clues. I'm not putting it down and being like, that's a problem for another day. The day has come, the time is now. Also too, this is like one of the most exciting things that's happened in the book so far. Aside from like the trials, I am enjoying the trials, although they do like happen pretty quickly, so we don't get like, I don't know, it's not like a big part of the story. I feel like honestly everything outside of the trials is more of a point to the story versus the trials. So yeah, so this is like one of the more exciting things that's happened so far, and now I have to wait. I have to wait for her to like want to look at these cards again. I'm about to read the last chapter and it's literally like a couple of pages long. I'm dying right now. Literally everything that I've read since the last time I updated you has just been like thing after thing after thing. We did circle back to what I talked about earlier in the little like spoiler section, and we just got now like the actual result of that. And I'm dying inside right now. And then also we just ended her last trial, her 3rd trial. So much action, so many things. Immediately I will be starting the next book. I'm not going to be reading it on camera because I need to like get this video done and uploaded, but I will be immediately jumping into this one. Also, the theory that I had from the beginning that also has not been confirmed still, but during the 3rd trial something happened that has made me feel even more certain. Like, I feel like they're just giving it away at this point. Also, there's a part of that I had kind of like changed my mind about, and now I'm kind of going back to my very initial first thought. I know this makes no sense, but basically I had a thought, something else happened, and then I was like, ooh, maybe it's this actually, but now I'm back to my original thought. Which begs the question of like, the new thing that got introduced that made me change my mind, what is that? And I'm also just really excited, just in general, that I feel this excited about the story because I have been in like a 2-month-long reading slump. The only thing I've been reading for like 2 months straight basically has been Ruby Dixon alien romances with the occasional like random book here and there. I haven't been this excited about a book in a hot second. Overall, as of right now, like freshly, I mean, I can't even say freshly off of reading it because I do still have a couple more pages to read, but freshly off of finishing it-ish, I would probably give this like a 3.5 star. It's almost a 4, but like if I felt the way that I felt reading this last little bit throughout the entire thing, it would definitely be like 4.5. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at a 3.5 right now. 3.75 maybe. I don't typically do quarter ratings, but I feel like this does deserve a little bit more than a 3.5, but it's just like not quite a 4. So let's do a 3.75. Honestly, the only things that I didn't love about the book was the initial kind of thing that I've been carrying throughout the whole book about kind of like what happened in that first trial. But we did kind of get that resolved a little bit at the very end. So I'm really glad that I don't have that still hanging over our heads going into the next book. And then also I will say it still does feel very YA to me. Like, I know I've read other YA books. I had to have read other YA books this year, and I don't typically read YA and think, oh, this is a YA book. I actually usually really enjoy YA fantasy books specifically because they just are like more faster paced and they kind of like get to the point quicker, and sometimes you just want that. But this one, again, it just felt kind of young to me in a way. Again, I think it was mainly because of our like main character, like the way she talked and things like that. And I actually do really love the fact that I am leaving this book with still so many unanswered questions, because that is just kind of like the perfect segue into picking up the second one. This is why I love to binge. I finish one book and I'm just like so excited and I have to read what happens next. So very, very excited. And with that, that is everything that I have for this video. I do have a couple more pages still, like that last chapter to read in the book, but I don't see anything crazy happening that's gonna require me to like update you even more. I feel like we got all the craziness out of the way already. So I hope you have had the most amazing of days, and I will hopefully see you in my next one. Bye.